Hi, I'm Andy Boynes. Each week we'll visit a different city and share with you some of the top international stories from the news which have entertained and surprised us. This week we're in Istanbul. But before we take a look at the city, let's have a look at what's in store.
Coming up on Small World, a solution to beat the airport blues. A surprise turn in fate for sacked factory workers. Students face a challenge at the speed of light. An innovative way to create a cool world. And youngsters teach us about crossing boundaries to make a caring world. Before these, Andy Boynes is in Istanbul, so let's take a brief tour of the city.
If, like me, you've ever had to spend 15 hours overnight on a hard airport bench, you'll be pleased to experience the comfortable life brought to you at Moscow's Sheremetyevo Airport with the introduction of the sleep box. A rectangular cubicle with a bed designed to give people a small place to rest in a public space.
A pair of Russian architects have come up with a new design to give tired airline passengers a chance to rest, relax, and charge their laptops on layovers between flights. The world's first sleep box has been put up for display in Moscow's Sheremetyevo Airport. Designed at the Moscow-based architecture bureau Art Group, the sleep box prototype, which includes two bunk-style beds, space for luggage, a window, a fold-out desk, and a nightstand with drawers, is shaped like a giant round box measuring 2.5 meters long, 1.6 meters wide, and 3 meters high. The Sleepbox designer and director of the Architecture Bureau Art Group, Mikhail Krymov, explains that the inspiration for the box came from his and his business partner's personal frequent flying experiences.
We ourselves fly a lot, and we often get into situations when we've had to sleep on chairs and on the floor, because in airports, as it's well known, chairs are especially made with those arm dividers, so you can't sleep on them. You don't want to go to a hotel, of course, because it's far away and too hard. As a rule, it's usually too far away. Even if it's near the airport in some terminal, all the same it's not available in a matter of minutes. So, after discussing our experience, we came up with this idea.
Krymov and his business partner and fellow architect Alexei Goryanov began the Sleepbox project with a computer-generated graphics plan that they put online. Their internet release received enthusiastic feedback and sparked off inquiries from airports, hotels, train stations, hospitals, and military institutions around the world.
The Sleepbox has everything you need: a bed, the necessary space to come in and put away your luggage, and a certain ceiling height, as well as different functions. We have to make it soundproof, put in ventilation, lighting. All of this went into the design. We also realized that we needed, for example, a window, because otherwise people wouldn't feel comfortable without a window. After all that was left was to round off the corners of the exterior.
Travelers waiting in Moscow's Sheremetyevo Airport were enthusiastic about the Sleepbox concept.
If there are normal, adequate provisions and prices, for a passenger to rest for an hour or two, not on a couch like we're doing here in barbaric conditions, but in more or less human conditions, I think it will be a success.
Another passenger, Tanya, said she would gladly use the sleep box on extended layovers.
You know, when you are in a situation where your flight is delayed for 10 or 12 hours, you're tired after a business trip. I myself am in this situation today, and I would sleep here with pleasure.
The sleep box is launching in a city infamous for its lack of low-cost hotel spaces. And unsurprisingly, the first company to order a set of the capsules was a Moscow hotel.
I'm standing here in front of Istanbul's most famous lottery booth, where over the years there have been many, many winners. Now, some say life's a lottery, and it must have seemed like this for 18 workers in Ottawa, Canada, when they lost their jobs. However, the next day they discovered it's a lucky world when they won the lottery of over $7 million. Now, here's more about their story about that overnight change in fate. And my lottery ticket, let's see if the one I bought in Istanbul is a winner for me.
In one 24-hour period, some employees of a smart technologies manufacturing plant in Ottawa received the bad news that they were losing their jobs, only to then learn unexpectedly that they had won the lottery. Lottery winner Colin Willard remembered hearing about the layoff on Wednesday.
I looked at the numbers and I had to ask somebody to come and take a look at them because I wasn't sure if I was reading it right. And she said, "Oh, you got them all." And, it started to shake, vibrating in my seat. And then I had to get out and tell some of the people that were in it. And, of course, nobody believed me. "No, you're joking." "No, I'm not joking. We won."
Smart Technologies announced that 200 workers would be laid off, 10 of whom were lottery winners.
I'm very happy for them. We are very good friends, co-worker.
The 18 winners of the 649 Lotto prize will receive about 400,000 Canadian dollars each.
It's been rough. Things are good.
It's a truly small world where a team of Dutch students are preparing for a solar car race in Australia. They've already won the event 4 times, and now they're determined to make it 5, using carbon fibers and specially tailored driving suits to make their performance even faster than before.
These Dutch undergraduates are testing what they hope will prove to be the world's fastest solar car. Their Nuna 6 model is taking part in October's biannual World Solar Challenge, a grueling 3,000-kilometer race from one end of Australia to the other.
The car you can see next to me is the Nuna 6, and we already made 5 Nunas. And with these, we participated in the biannual solar race in Australia, and we won 4 out of 5.
The students have gone to great lengths to give themselves every competitive advantage.
Actually, a tailored suit designed for the measurements of the selected drivers from our team. So we, in the beginning of the project, measured every team member, and the best team members compared to each other, measurement-wise, were selected to be the drivers of the car, and the car was designed around them. So, for instance, the width of the hips are very important for the design of the car, and that's what we mainly selected on.
Dutch company DSM built the one-seater with special carbon fibers and a brand new resin, as their Chief Innovation Officer Rob Van Leen explains.
And special carbon fibers, we were able to increase the rigidity with 25%. And therefore this new Nuna 6 has 10% less drag than its predecessors. And as a consequence of that, it has less vibrations and goes faster.
The World Solar Challenge is ultra-competitive, with dozens of international teams from technical universities and colleges competing. Solar panels on the car's roofs capture the sun's energy and convert it into electricity. The technology isn't without problems. The cars can't store enough power to travel more than short distances when not in direct sunlight. But with each year, the solar power systems are improving, and as the race nears, the Nuna 6 team say they're preparing for victory and yet another day in the sun. We wish them luck.
It's been a hot summer here in Istanbul, and cities around the world have seen record-breaking temperatures. Locals in Moscow have found a great way to create a cool world by plunging into the city's fountains to escape the highest temperatures on record.
Russia's capital experienced its hottest August 15th on record Monday. as temperatures reached 31.4 degrees Celsius, outstripping the previous record set in 2010. In central Moscow, some locals chatted, posed for photographs, and enjoyed ice creams by the fountains at Alexandrov Garden, while many children and youngsters threw themselves all the way in some cases still fully dressed.
It's good weather, it's hot, it's nice.
Aren't you too hot?
No, it's fine. We're already used to weather like this.
Basically, everything's melting. The ice cream, the girls are melting. They're wonderful. It's just nice. I think it's good. Here at Small World, we're constantly amazed at how people are crossing the old cultural boundaries to discover how much we have in common across the globe. But over in Thailand, we discovered an even more unusual story about a caring world. One in which a 2-year-old chimpanzee is feeding tiger cubs.
A 2.5-year-old male chimpanzee named Dodo has been trained to feed tiger cubs out of a bottle. He demonstrated his skills at the Samut Prakarn Crocodile Farm and Zoo about 40 kilometers southeast of Bangkok in Thailand. Dodo has been feeding the cubs, aged between 3 weeks to 5 months, every day for more than a year. Dodo's trainers say they wanted to challenge the chimp, and since he's shown no fear of the tiger cubs, they worked with him until he picked up the habit. Although they say sometimes he ignores his feeding tasks and just wants to play.
He just fed the cub, but he also teased the tiger by taking the milk out of the bottle.
Zoo workers say Dodo and the cubs attract many tourists who love taking pictures.
They're cute. They're just young animals. They play together. The zookeepers trained the chimp, and they also ordered the chimp to play with the tigers.
Trainers say Dodo learned how to feed the cubs in no time.
It's not difficult, as he knows how to hold the bottle. I just teach him a little bit to hold it and stay with the cubs. As I've been teaching him every day, he can do it. But sometimes he plays with them too.
Dodo and the cubs, who are about the same size, enjoy a good romp and wrestle. But soon the cubs will outgrow Dodo and will be moved to an area more suited to their size.
That wraps up our show for today. We'll have more for you again next week when we come to you from Prague with a look at the city and a tour around the week's events from around our small worlds. So join me, Andy Moynes, here on TRT English as we continue to discover what a small world we live in.